I wonder, dog. You know what
Fly, pelicans fly. They're not even pelicans. Not good. Oh, yeah. Except it's kind of big.
Damn it.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Dude, that's crazy, dog.
What the hell?
Yup. Yeah, we worked outside today. I was pissed off. I'm a warehouse worker, dog.
Yeah.
You got me outside picking up trash.
Nah, yeah, that pissed me off. Like I'm a prison worker.
Yeah. I said, where's, man? I should have went home and got my orange jumpsuit.
Little stick with the poker.
I made my own, dog.
What's going on? What's going on? Late night family. Hey, we're back in the building.
Yup.
Coming to bring you another exciting episode of Late Night Conversations with Unc and Nephew. Man, I am your host with the most, King J, also known as Nephew. And to the left is my co-host,
JR, Big
Man,
Unc.
what's up, Big Unc?
Yeah, we finna get some rain, baby.
Man, we finna get some rain, ain't we?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Bro, when you live in our area, rain excites you.
Man, exactly,
You be like, dog, I'm ready to go outside and lay in the rain
Me too.
and just soak
It's
up.
gonna be 55 degrees and cold
Oh,
rain.
I can't wait.
Man, tomorrow.
It's gonna be a good day. And
Can't
if
wait.
it rains the way it says it is,
all day long.
Harry Potter on the TV with my legs up.
Oh, you're off tomorrow, huh?
Yep.
I gotta work.
Oh,
Why
that's
Harry
right.
Potter?
Oh, that's the perfect movie for
A rainy day?
a rainy day. Ask one of
No,
our
you know
super
what?
fans, Tanner. Shout out to Tanner.
Hey,
Harry
yep.
Potter fan.
No,
Harry
what-
Potter fan.
Jan, yeah. What
Yep.
you need to do is go watch Devil Wears Prada 2.
Oh no.
What?
You know I don't be watching no girl movies.
Dude, I love rom-coms. I just watched Devil Wears Prada this week for the first time ever. Brandon said, you ever seen that? I'm like, nope.
Oh, you just saw the first
One, yeah. So I'm excited about going to go see
You're gonna go
the
buy
other
that
two.
little red purse popcorn bucket?
Probably so. You bought the Michael.
I bought the Michael. Hey, don't judge me.
You paid $89 for the Michael, so
We hit him with
for a small box of popcorn.
he heed his last
Yeah,
heed.
man. Well, he did. You didn't.
Man, Unc, hey, I'm so excited for today's episode, Unc. Today, we have a special treat for the fans
Okay,
today.
talk to me.
We have a true crime story for the fans tonight.
Since when?
Since when, right?
Right. Man,
I feel
that's
like,
been a while,
yeah, it's
dude.
been a while since we covered a good true crime,
Right,
and this
right.
one is super, super good. It's
Well,
something that you probably...
you never seem to not to disappoint.
Exactly.
You know?
And this is something you probably never have heard of. And y'all might not have either. So y'all strap in
Somebody
for today's
heard of it.
episode.
Somebody
Somebody's
has it.
heard of it, yeah. I heard of it.
They wrote it.
So y'all strap in for today's episode, y'all. We have an exciting episode planned. But before we jump into today's episode, we just want to say thank you to all our fans out there who've been watching faithfully week to week. We really appreciate y'all.
Right.
We could not do this without y'all. If this is your first time tuning in to the Late Night Conversations with Unc and Nephew podcast, we just want to say welcome to the Late Night family. If you enjoy your time with us, we just ask you to do us one big favor. Hit that subscribe button for us, man.
Right.
Wherever you're watching your podcast at. That could be Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Podcast, iHeartRadio.
Music, yeah. iHeartRadio.
Wherever you get your podcast at, man, that's where we gonna be at.
Yeah.
So y'all just y'all tap in, join the Late Night family. I promise y'all won't be disappointed.
Exactly.
We have already almost accumulated 60 episodes.
Hey, we're 60
Yeah.
episodes and almost 1,000.
Almost 1,000 downloads on Spotify.
bro.
So we have great content on there. Y'all check us out. Do a deep dive if y'all like it. Like I said, just hit that subscribe button,
Yep.
especially on YouTube. Our YouTube gang out there, we appreciate y'all. If y'all like this video, hit a like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and punch that bell right in the face.
Yep.
So you get notified every time we drop a video, and that's every other Friday.
Sorry about last episode.
Oh, yes.
I was so tired, man, that when I saw the episode, I'm like, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disappoint because I looked very, very tired.
Yeah, he was drained.
I was drained. I've been
He
doing
he ate 6 McChickens
didn't.
before the...
I had been putting a lot of overtime, and you even said, "You sure you want to do this tonight?" And I said, "Yeah." And I do apologize, but I was really, really tired on the last episode. Hey, but it's still a great, great episode.
Yeah, it was a super dope episode. The story is so insane.
Crazy.
Y'all gotta check it out.
Hey,
man.
I had people telling me, I don't want to go take a shower. Because I don't want my wife coming in there. Yeah.
Just peek around that corner.
That's crazy, right?
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. I seen a TikTok where somebody did that to their husband, and man, he tripped out, boy.
That's what I'm... Dog, that's scary as hell. Boom. Hey, it just, dog, get you, dog.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But I do apologize on my behalf. But thank y'all for watching and keeping up with this, though.
Yeah, man. Shout out to y'all, man. We can't do this without y'all. So without further ado, y'all, let's jump into today's episode.
Let's go.
Today's true crime story is going to take both your socks off and fold them and put them in the dirty clothes.
Wow. So if I'm going
that's how cold. This is how cold this story is going to be, dog. So this podcast episode is called The Female Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, who would that be?
Dude. Dog.
So Hannibal Lecter is one of my favorite.
Dog, exactly. That's why I knew you were going to like this one. So check this out. On tonight's story is not just disturbing. It's one of the most infamous and chilling crimes in modern Australian history.
Oh, I knew it was going to be.
It's a case so brutal, so shocking that even seasoned investigators were left speechless. This is the story of John Price and the woman who would become known as one of Australia's most dangerous killers.
Wow. Let's go.
So, to understand what happened, Unc, we need to start with this woman named Catherine Knight. So, Catherine Knight was born in 1955 in rural New South Wales, Australia. See, Catherine's childhood was anything but normal, Unc. See, she grew up in a home that was filled with violence and instability. Her father was a very bad alcoholic, and her mother openly spoke about her hatred towards women. Towards men.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Spoke about hatred towards men. And I'll tell you why, Unc. Because if you dig a little bit into her mom's past, you read that their marriage was so terrible.
So domestic violence is not just in the United States.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's everywhere, dog. And see, her mom even had recounts of, like, her husband was such an alcoholic. Against her will, even if she didn't want to, he would make her up to 10 times a day have sex with him.
Wow.
Basically raping her at this point.
Right.
Just whenever he wanted, dog.
Yeah.
Her whole upbringing.
Yes or no, it didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter. So she had a disdain for men.
Right.
And openly spoke about it to the kids. So by the time Catherine had reached adulthood, see, she had already developed a reputation for herself. She was very volatile, aggressive, and capable of extreme violence just because of what her upbringing had
What she saw, yeah.
She also had went through some essaying of herself, through her childhood from her, stepfathers and things of that nature. And, dog, she had a very rough past. And so all relationships that she was jumping in, her main goal to her, what she would always say is, I want to actually have a real family and raise them better than my family raised me.
Who wouldn't?
Right? But because of her environment, her whole persona of her relationship was skewed, man.
So her PTSD.
Yeah, it was too bad.
Yeah.
And she was very aggressive. She didn't really have a hatred towards men, but was very aggressive towards them. Fought with every relationship she had.
You knew what I say this time.
Yes. And after a bunch of failed relationships, she finally came across a good man. And so check this out, Unc. Long before she met John Price, this was the man she had met, she had developed a pattern. See, she had attacked previous partners before, threatened them, even once tried to strangle one with a wire cord. In another incident, man, she had actually got admitted into the hospital, came out, got her baby, and left the baby on the railroad tracks.
Oh, Lord.
And so luckily the baby got saved, so nothing came out of that. She got readmitted into the hospital. So like I said, man, her story
life
has been rough, dog. She's just had a rough upbringing. And then she met John. So see, John Price was by most accounts a good man. A father of 3, a hard worker. He was well liked by his community. He knew about Catherine's past. Everyone did. This is a tight-knit community.
Right.
You got to understand, everybody knows each other's business. kind of like another city we not
Yeah,
naming.
exactly.
Ours. Nah.
Okay. If
Nah.
y'all didn't know.
But so friends warned him, coworkers warned him. Even John himself repeatedly said, look, he would joke about it to his coworkers. If I don't turn up for work one day, maybe she killed me, guys.
Oh.
She was just, it was just not
So
a
he would
good
make fun of it
relationship.
because he knew how rough it was.
How she was, man.
Her
She was
past,
very combative, she loved to fight with her partners. And, it got to a point where they were on and off, fight. Then she would kick her out the house. She would show up back, in lingerie and,
Right.
he took her
So
back.
she wasn't an ugly woman.
No, she was pretty fair looking, in her time.
Right.
And the thing is, as a man, be honest. A girl show up to your crib in lingerie, hey, I want to come back with you.
She's not leaving my house.
Go ahead and come inside.
Yeah, she's not leaving my house.
Go ahead and come inside.
At least not for about 3 or 4 minutes.
Girl, it's cold outside. Get in here. 3-4 minutes. God damn. I got here disappointed people.
No, I'm just playing. Maybe about 5. But anyways,
They give me about 5 minutes.
you want to marry.
Give me a marry unk. Oh, dog. So, there was one night, man, it was just a bad night, man.
Yeah.
So, she came back to him in lingerie like she always did. Of course, they came back in, and it hit a rough point where she asked John, when are we going to get married? That kind of set John off because he said, man, look, that's not what I'm looking for right now. I just, things aren't where they need to be between us, and that set her off because she's getting tired of, she's like,
Back
I don't
and
know,
forth,
the back and forth, and she's like, she wants more than anything to have a marriage.
A family, like she had said.
A family, like she said. So they get into it real bad, huh? It gets to the point where she actually grabbed the knife off the kitchen counter after it got physical. They started hitting each other, pushing each other, shoving each
Right.
other. She ended up grabbing a knife off the countertop and slashing his chest, right? And, it's not a fatal wound. It
Right.
just cut him real bad.
Right.
He gets the bleeding. And so he kicked her out of the house. And it stayed like that for a little bit, man. He was
Right.
on his own. She went on her own, got her own apartment. Well, it was February 29th, 2000. After a rocky relationship filled with arguments and breakups, John had asked Catherine, of course, to move out. But, see, after a little bit, she came back, just like she always did, in the lingerie or whatever.
Right.
But this time, it was a little different. She had a different plan. So, at some point, John goes to work like normal. He's working his shift.
Oh, he accepted her back in.
No, so check this out. So, no, I'm saying, John went to work, right? She shows up to his house unannounced.
Oh, okay.
John's kids are there. And so what she does is she kind of says, hi, how are y'all? Talks to him, whatever. And they kind of liked Catherine. They didn't see the ugly side.
Right.
So they were just talking to her, whatever. So she gets the idea to arrange a sleepover for them at a friend's house.
Yeah.
So she does that. She sends them to somebody else's house. And then she takes off home to go change into some lingerie or whatever. Does what she's going to do.
Right.
And is going to wait for John to come back. So John shows up after work real tired, He gets there and he sees that his kids are gone. But there's a note that Catherine left saying, hey, I arranged the night for just us to be together, this and this and all that. He's pissed.
Yeah, I was
he's
gonna say.
he's like, bro, I didn't ask you to do none of this.
Right.
And, he's tired after a long day. So, he's just like, whatever. So he just sits there and waits for her to show up. Well, she shows up, lingerie, all that. And, she came back and they spent the evening together. Ended up getting intimate. Neighbors later reported seeing lights on, nothing unusual. And at some point, John, went to bed. And that's when everything changed. So,
Ooh, I can
in the
already tell.
morning,
Yeah.
John was set to go to work. He doesn't show up. So, his employer sent one of the employees to just go check on him to see if everything was cool. Like,
Yeah, because no call, no show.
Yeah, exactly. So he shows up to the house, and he sees John's car is parked in the driveway. So he's like, maybe he just overslept. Let me go knock on the door. So he goes to knock on the door, and he notices something weird. He knocks on the door, but on the bottom left of the door, right by the floor, it looks like there's a bloody print on the hand, like blood smeared like in a print form
On the bottom of the
on
door?
the bottom of the door, like on the outside of the frame.
Right.
He's like, what the hell? That's kind of strange. So he's knocking, nothing. So after seeing the blood and stuff, he kind of just goes back to his employer like, hey, man, I don't know what's
Something
going on.
happened, yeah.
There's some blood in the doorway. Nobody's answering. So, of course, they call the cops. The cops go over there to check it out. They see the print. They're knocking on the door. They go around to the side of the house, and they see a little window. They kind of look through. And in through this window where they're looking at, they notice right by the floor, there's like a plate of food that had been like thrown out the window. They're like, what the hell? That's kind of odd. And so when they look through the window, they see a table. And it's a big old table all set up like a Thanksgiving feast. There's food and all kinds of just different dishes.
Right,
and,
right.
Man, it's meat and it's like greens and potatoes and man, it's a good meal.
Right,
like,
right.
And they're just like, but nobody's in there. So I mean, of course, that's kind of strange. So they go around, they're banging on the windows and nothing. And so finally, the police decide
Barge in.
that they're gonna barge in because of the blood on the front door.
Right.
So they kick through the back door. They come in through the kitchen, through the dining room, where the food is at. Nothing's kind of out of place. They make their way to the living room. And right by the door where they seen that bloody handprint, there's a pool of blood in front of the door. And it's a mess everywhere, dog. There's blood everywhere. There's a blood trail leading all the way through the hallway, all the way to the bedroom. So they start walking all the way where the blood trail's at, and behind the couch, they see Catherine. And she's slumped over, looking like she's almost dead. And so they're like, what the hell? So they start tending to her. She still has a pulse. So they get her up. They, get her in the medical and, they're trying
Is
to.
she cut up or what?
So no, she's not cut up. She just looks like she's
like she's
out
dead,
of it.
yeah.
Like she's dying from something. So they just put her, they start treating her or whatever. And they go to the room, one of the cops, he's kind of working his way through the blood trail. He gets into the room and there's blood everywhere, all over the bed. And he sees that there's like a room near his bedroom and there's like a curtain blocking the way. So he's got his gun drawn. He's, looking for a possible killer.
Right, right.
He kind of pushes the curtain to the side and looks, and it's just a little a room with a little closet. And the blood trail stops right where he was standing, right where he moved the curtain.
Right.
And they're like, what the hell? Like, how would the blood stop here? And then he feels something cold on his arm. And he looks, and there's a big splotch of blood on his arm. And he knows it's not his. And then he takes a step back. And he looks at the curtain that he pushed to the side. It wasn't the curtain, dog.
Tell me it was his skin.
So before I tell you what it was,
Oh, man.
let me take you back to that night to let you know what led up to what just happened.
Okay.
At some point, John went to bed after they did
Right.
whatever they did. Catherine wakes up in the middle of the night, and she's looking at John, and she feels so disgusted with herself because of what she did, and she feels like John's just using her. He don't want to get married to her,
But she's the one that keeps going to him, right?
Exactly. But he wants to have sex with her, but he don't want to commit to her.
Right.
So she gets so mad. She goes back to her apartment and gets her work tools. Let me tell you what she does for work.
I was going to say, what did she do?
She works like at a slaughterhouse, like a Cargill or like
Right.
Yeah,
So she's a butcher.
She works on the kill floor. So she has knives, sharpeners, hooks. So she goes back to the apartment. Turns out, dog, as soon as she gets there, she pulls out one of her sharpest knives and stabs him in his back. He jumps out of bed in shock and starts running towards the front door. I mean, he's leaking.
Right.
And she's chasing him, hitting him with the knife. He makes it all the way to the front door, but he's losing so much blood because she hit some vital organs, man. He gets to the door, and he's so weak that he collapses, and he gets the door about halfway
open.
And he puts his hand on the frame and tries to slide himself out. Well, after he took off running, he had knocked her down. So she got up by herself, grabbed a knife, went to the living room, grabbed him by his feet, and dragged him back into the house, shut the door, and proceeded to stab him 37 times in his back.
That's what do they call that?
What is that?
Crime of passion?
Crime of passion.
Yeah.
She stabbed him like 37 times,
Wow.
And then she dragged him.
So he's dead.
Yeah. I mean, hitting vital organs, bro.
Yeah.
While he's there dying, she dragged him all the way back to the room, right where that spot where the blood stopped. What you don't know about her is she works at that slaughterhouse, but she's one of the best at that slaughterhouse.
So she gutted him. She
skinned him completely in one piece. Wow. Skinned him into a suit. She then took that suit and draped it over a makeshift hook that she made, like they do in the kill floor.
Right.
That wasn't a curtain. That was his skin, dog.
I told you, dog.
That was his skin
so
hanging.
When he moved it over, the skin's still leaking.
It's still leaking blood, dog. He thought it was a curtain or a towel, dog. It was his human skin hanging in one piece. And he didn't see it because he's so...
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't looking for skin.
Skin hanging.
He wanted to see what was inside.
Yeah, he thought it was a blanket. It was just hanging there, a sheet.
That's crazy,
it was his skin, dog.
That's insane. That's insane because he's so focused on
trying to find whoever did this, okay?
That he was not seeing straight.
So then she then proceeds, she cut him, hung his skin, so his torso's laying there right there.
I didn't know where this is heading, but anyways, keep going.
She then decapitates his head completely off the torso. She takes the head and goes and she puts it in a pot and starts boiling it.
Oh, man.
She then proceeds to go back and starts cutting chunks of his body. She then starts to cook it in the oven.
Skinless body.
Yeah, it's all torso.
It's all muscle and fat.
It's all muscle and fat. So she carves it, cuts it into nice pieces of meat, and goes and cooks it in the oven, dog. She then makes a great feast and starts setting plates out. She starts setting up plates, and she puts little cards by each plate with the kids' names on them. She's going to feed their dad to the kids. So she then proceeds to sit down and eat her plate. But what they're assuming is maybe she got sick and she couldn't handle it. So she tossed the plate out the window. And then she felt so bad that instead of facing whatever was going to come, she decided she was going to kill herself. So she went into the bathroom, grabbed a bottle of pills, and chugged a bottle.
Oh, okay.
Now,
so there was no injuries.
There was no injuries.
That's why I was like,
was overdosing. She wasn't
a
victim. She just wanted to kill herself. So she didn't drink enough pills to kill herself. It was just enough to kind of knock her unconscious.
Right.
So she was fine. They took her to the hospital and she was good. But, dog, the murder scene they walked into.
That's crazy because this is true crime.
Yes, dog. I mean, you gotta think, man.
So my mind right now, I'm looking at the table right now. I'm looking at the curtain that is not a curtain. I can visually see it without you probably got pictures, but I can just see it.
Yes, dog. Oh my God.
So I can imagine when they realized what she just did, all their stomachs just turned.
Dog, as a cop, how do you walk into a scene and see this
and not realize what it is until afterwards?
And then what it would do, it would do to you. Bro, you're seeing somebody's skin, no head, just neck down to feet, just a skin hanging like a towel.
Like a cow's
hide.
Yeah.
Dog. So, like I said, with Catherine being found at the scene in a state that suggested she had attempted to take her own life, when she recovered at the hospital, they arrested her immediately.
Why? So why does she want to be a cannibal?
Dog, this is what we don't understand. So
I understand why you call her
the female Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
See, during the trial, the evidence was overwhelming. Catherine Knight never did. So Catherine Knight never denied responsibility. But see, the court had determined intent and sanity. Intent and sanity. It wasn't insanity. They said she knew what she was doing.
Yeah, she was
psychiatric
as a same person.
Exactly. Yeah. Psychiatric evaluations revealed a deeply disturbed individual, but one who still understood her actions. And see, that's the thing. I don't know what caused her to do the cannibal thing. I don't know what in her head snapped.
That's what I'm saying. So she never gave a reason why she did it, or
She didn't say that she
But
did.
I mean,
but she
we
never,
know she did it because of past trauma.
And the evidence, I mean, she was there.
Yeah,
at
she
the
did it,
scene.
but I'm saying-
Yeah, she did it.
What was her? Why would she want to
Why
feed
cook him?
his
That-
kids?
Dude, and
Their
that right there,
dad.
that I don't understand. Like, what in her mind made her want to feed their own dad to them?
I've never
What-
hated anybody like
That
that in
bad.
my life, that I would want to kill a person and feed that person to their own children. That is the most evil. This is probably
Exactly.
the most evil thing I ever heard, dog. I mean, I've watched we watched a lot of movies.
Yeah,
We watched a lot
facts.
of crazy. You know, I've listened to a lot of crime stories. That's evil.
It's true evil, dog. Like, that's the epitome of evil. What did Dr. Evil say on Austin Powers? He said that's pure evil. What did he say? How do you say?
I don't know.
What did he say?
I like the movie.
That's
dog, but-
quasi evil. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
that's the epitome, like you said.
That's the epitome of true
the most
evil, dog.
person. That's probably the most evil person I've ever listened about. Because
And think about it, huh?
I mean, you
You said it yourself.
Look at these killers from California. Ramirez,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Night Stalker.
The Night Stalker, yeah.
You know, that's evil. But he didn't feed these
He didn't
victims
feed.
to their own kids. If these kids would have made it home before the cops did, if the employer
oh, man,
would have
bro.
never sent that employee to that house,
Who's to say
So-
the kids wouldn't have ate their own dad?
and then she would have killed him too.
I bet.
More
I bet
if
that
she wouldn't have got
that
sick,
got her.
if she wouldn't have got sick.
Yeah, I bet that got her in the state to where she felt like she could do it again.
So I don't want to say she got sick. Are you done? Are you done with the stories?
Just a little update. So
Okay.
So today the case. So okay, in 2001, Catherine Knight became the first woman in Australian history. See, this
Gets
is the
the
thing.
death penalty.
Yeah, So check this out. Not the death penalty. Yeah, because I don't know if they do that over there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
In 2001, Catherine Knight became the first woman in Australian history to be sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole.
Oh, okay.
At all. The judge even made it a point, like she set a record in Australia because not only was she the first woman, the judge at her sentencing told her, because of the nature of your crime, I want them to stamp your file that you are to never see the light of day again.
Wow.
Like, you are not allowed.
That's
There's
what I would say,
no
too.
possibility.
Yeah.
You're going to die in prison. You're going to rot in prison.
You're never
Period.
getting
You're
out.
never getting out. And she's still alive to this day. She's like 70 years old in prison.
Actually, yeah, she is 71 because I was born in 66. She was born in 55.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
she's,
yeah. So she's 70, 71.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's still in prison, dog.
So-
And, this sentence in Australia was reserved only for the most extreme cases, Unc. And see,
So-
today, you have to understand, this case is remembered not just for its brutality, but it's the warnings that were ignored, Unc. But somehow she was never stopped. See, Catherine had shown the world what she was again and again. She had a troubled past. And somehow she was never stopped. And John Price paid the ultimate price.
Man, dude, this is so freaking amazing that you're telling me this because I've been talking to people about, like, I don't know if you ever heard of the burning bed, about, I don't know, she was beat so severely all this time.
Yeah.
And she ended up killing her husband. And I
Really?
think she got incarcerated in the 70s. True story.
Exonerated.
And exonerated, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, I've been talking to like Sophia and other people about how much domestic violence has grown.
Oh, yeah, dog.
And then to have something like this, and I'll never justify murder.
Yeah, facts.
Well, can't say I'll never justify because if I kill somebody because they hurt one of my kids.
Yeah. I
I'm-
mean, there is times where, I don't know.
You
bro.
can't justify
It's hard
murder,
to say.
Yeah.
Morally, I don't know.
Morally, we can't justify it.
You can't justify
the whole
murder,
deal
but
is that
sometimes it's
I know,
okay.
I know PTSD was probably not recognized over there or not recognized in her. She never got the help she needed.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, I can't justify.
You can't say, well, she just. I mean,
people snap.
Yeah, exactly.
And I understand that. But going as far as skinning, cutting, boiling, cooking, and trying to serve the children, you know what you're
beyond.
doing.
Yeah, that's beyond.
That's beyond snap.
Yeah, that's beyond snap, dog.
You know?
That's something else.
So it's just insane to me, mijo.
It's crazy, right?
This is one crazy story because I've heard some crazy stories, dog, but I've never heard one so gruesome.
So gruesome, yeah, dude. And it's one of those stories that you try to wrap your head around, but a normal human, like, I can't fathom, dog.
She could never wear this shirt. We're all gonna judge that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, you getting judged over here. Cause dog, how can you make that? You can't. Like, that's not. You can't make that okay.
Yeah, you can't.
You know what I mean? And no matter the abuse that she endured,
inevitable. Period.
Yeah.
Death, whether it's murder, suicide, accidental, or nature.
Right.
Natural. What's the nature? Natural. But doing the things that she did to him and then afterwards, that makes it never okay.
And you got to think, she sent the kids away. This seems like this was premeditated.
That's what I'm going to say. With her sitting, it's premeditated.
I think she had this whole night planned out.
Yeah.
Because she said that, she just woke up and snapped. No, I think she was ready to kill this man because she wasn't getting what she wanted.
Well, I mean, she's going to say what she can to get the. She knows she's going to prison, but
yeah.
She didn't, I bet you she didn't think she was going to die in prison. She thought maybe I'll get 20 years. Well, I don't know.
I don't know Australian laws. I don't know. Like here you get death. Yeah, you get death sentence. Yeah, you get a death sentence.
Excuse me, it depends what state. There's some states that don't do death.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true.
But if it had been Texas,
oh yeah, firing squad.
Hey, I read that somebody's trying to bring back the firing squad.
For real,
that's an option now.
Damn,
I don't know where. What
would
state.
you want that? Say you were on death row. Would you rather have lethal injection, firing squad, or electric chair?
Probably firing squad.
Right?
Because
it's instant. Right? Instant death.
They're gonna shoot at your heart, and over here you know it. You feel the medicine going in, and then you're gonna go into a relaxed state, sleep, and then you're done. But firing squad is instant.
Electric chair for sure out the question.
I don't even like. I don't even like to get. Where I work, we get shocked with the static.
I was about to say,
it hurts. Can you imagine?
You ever been at Walmart pushing the basket and you touch something?
Man.
God damn.
That's your finger. Can you imagine?
They put the wet sponge on you.
Or like on the Green Mountain, no wet sponge.
Oh, damn, dry.
Dry.
Just like a putting a pack of ramen noodles in the microwave.
Right.
No water.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? But I know it's not a funny thing. It's not
a funny. That situation is not funny. But
we make things funny because that's what we are. But that's crazy.
That story, is just absurd.
Like I said, I'll never justify it.
Facts.
But she had so much trauma that people, are going to snap. And there's some people that can take it. There's some people that, she might have died if that man hadn't come into her life. Who else would have been?
Yeah.
I mean, could it have been? I don't know.
I feel like it was leading up because all her relationships that she had been in, it was just getting worse and worse. Right. John just was the unlucky one.
I want to kind of make her the same as what was her name? The one that in Florida, she got the death penalty. She's already been killed, I think.
Eileen Wuornos. Eileen Wuornos.
I kind of look at her as the same.
In the same way, because Wuornos was getting raped and stuff as a prostitute, and then she said it was self-defense. Six self-defenses. Why was you in that many predicaments? You was six self-defenses.
I would have been never gone back. You know what I'm saying? But no, I kind of, because she went through a lot of things. A lot of females. And it's not always females, man.
Yeah, because men go through the same domestic violence too. But this is a good teaching moment. Like, this is what happens when trauma goes unhealed, unfixed, and
Untreated.
untreated.
Yeah.
And then also you mix in, the domestic violence, and you mix in the toxicity of the relationship.
And that's what I was telling my mom.
You know what I mean?
Okay, we're Mexican, we're Hispanic. We were raised, we don't go to a therapist, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic because my daughter is a therapist.
Right. Right.
She worked with the domestic violence females and children.
Right.
And then she worked with college students that needed help, going through some things while they're away. And now she's back to doing
outreach work,
stuff
helping
like
the
that.
community.
So I was telling her the other day, I'm like, baby, that even though we're Hispanic or Mexican or Latino, whatever you want to call, everybody needs therapy at one point or another, man.
Yeah.
When they're going through some things, because I think, just the things that she tells me about, she never mentions names, of course.
Right.
Or even other people that I've talked to that have gone through similar situations and gotten therapy.
Yeah.
They have said that it was a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Because at some points, they were like, I had talked to one girl who's still in therapy.
Yeah.
And she says that without this, I'm probably going to hurt somebody.
Yeah.
She goes, shout out to my therapist, which is not my daughter, it's somebody else.
Yeah.
She goes, because she allows me to call her and set an appointment at the last minute because I'm going through some things. We all need someone to release.
Yeah.
That because sometimes I have a feeling, I'm like, man, stress overwhelms you.
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't have trauma. I was never victimized or, I've never had, a trauma that makes me go buck wild.
Right.
But still, we've dealt with death. My mom passed away. My daughter passed away.
Exactly.
I'm still healing from that.
Exactly.
But you're right. If she would have got the help she needed, if somebody,
could this have
the
been
whole deal
prevented?
is too, is that sometimes we don't recognize the symptoms, or we choose not to because I don't know her, or she's just a coworker, or he's just a coworker.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to get involved in his life. Sometimes we have to get involved.
A lot of times, Unc, I think we get so desensitized to
reality.
Not just reality, Unc, but to other people's feelings, because either we're so caught up in our own emotions and what we're going through in life, or it's like one of those things that, like on our TikTok feed, we just see so much negativity all day that we're desensitized by it. So we don't even think to be like, hey, like this person next to me might be tripping because he's going through something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if you've noticed on my TikToks that I post on a daily, I'm always saying, smile today.
Yeah, hug somebody, be nice. Yeah.
Because you never know.
It's free to be nice.
Yeah, I put that. It's free to smile.
Yeah.
Because somebody,
somebody might need that, dog.
Hey,
like they could be about to just crash out,
and
somebody look at you and just give you a smile.
And you're like, oh,
especially your smile. Your smile's funny, dog.
and then you tell me we're exactly. You saw it this morning, But I just think it's so important that to be nice,
facts,
at all times, man, because you never know.
You never know what somebody's going through, dog.
You can be at the grocery store and you see TikToks. Can I get a hug? Well, that one police video I seen, man, that he pulled this lady over and she was like not having it.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What's with the attitude?" And she's like, "I just don't like cops." And so it all broke down is that she had moved to this new town and she had just got divorced or whatever, and she was just going through it.
Yeah.
And the cop says, "Do you need a hug?" And she said, "Yeah." So this cop hugged her and just
it broke it down.
Everything de-escalated. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It didn't escalate no more. It could have gone either way.
Yeah.
But just by a hug, de-escalate a situation.
Yeah.
You never know what people are going through.
Exactly.
So it doesn't cost you anything just to be a nice person.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Bro, that's why I'm so like when people are rude to me out in public, that's why I don't pay it no mind.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I'm like, man, they probably just tripping on something.
Yeah,
like I don't let it bother
and
me.
sometimes when they're that far, you don't want to,
Yeah, you don't want to provoke
worse.
anything.
So you're like, hey,
yeah, you know
just walk away.
Just do what you do.
You know,
like, man.
sometimes it's not even do you want to hug because that's going to make it worse.
Yeah,
you
sometimes I just let them be. Like, yeah,
you can see their sadness. No, but the story is just crazy, man, because nobody saw what she was going through, or nobody cared enough to
at least try to help her in some sort of way, and that's obvious because
and then
everybody knew John Price, and everybody knew her story.
And John Price paid the price, and his kids. Not because they didn't eat.
No, but they lost their dad. And he was a good man. By most accounts, he was a good, hardworking man.
Yeah, she found somebody who was going to treat her right until he saw the dark side.
Yeah.
You know
what I mean? And that's one of those things. It's just like, I don't want to say she was too far gone, but nobody's ever too far gone. But but she was at a point where it seemed for her it was no return.
No
after
return.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The point of no return is rock bottom is a scary thing.
Yeah, dog.
You know,
and that's why this story is so. This
is a great story. By the way.
When I say it's such a good story, I don't mean for the murder aspect.
Yeah, of course not.
I mean what this can mean to somebody else.
Somebody else, yeah. This is a wide awakening for some people.
Yeah.
Who
maybe they don't know that they have trauma built up. A lot of us don't, man. We think, we're good.
Yeah.
But you don't know.
So, I have a friend that was saying, I don't remember my childhood that much because I had gone through some things. That's just blocking out memory.
Yeah.
You know.
A lot of us are good at bottling emotions, bro.
But when that soda bottle fizzes and fizzes and fizzes and it finally explodes and all your memories and your emotions come back, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's what happened to her that night.
You got to
maybe it happened and then she said, you know what? Tonight's the night for him. And just, like you said, premeditated it.
But dog, to take it to that extent, wild, bro.
Well, yeah.
Like, wild.
Yeah, I mean,
this is the first. I mean, I'm sure there may be other instances like this,
Shudder,
but this is the
Shudder
first.
has some crazy movies, right?
Hell yeah.
So you would picture that as a movie. You see that in movies, but you don't picture it in real life.
Yeah, you don't think that this could be something somebody's capable of
until it happened, such as what happened in Plainview a while back. Who would ever thought it would happen that would ever happen in Plainview?
Yeah, in our little town.
I'm not going to mention nothing of that, but
we experienced a tragedy in town. Something that you're like, damn, how could that have happened?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things to where, like I said, we become so desensitized to things that when something crazy happens, we forget. Like, bro,
that we see them sad and we just walk. Brandy had told me one time. I can't remember the name of this book. This man wrote a book where he said, "Today's the day. I'm killing myself." In San Francisco, and he was on a bus just bawling and bawling, crying and crying. Nobody said nothing. He got off the bus and was walking on the Golden Gate Bridge, and he was just bawling, crying the whole time, and got on the edge, and people saw him, and
didn't do nothing,
and he jumped. He says he don't know how he survived, but he survived and wrote a book. But like you said, being so desensitized, what would it cost? Hey, are you okay?
Hey, are you good? Yeah, simply just to check on somebody, bro.
Because he might have said, "I'm not. I just need a hug. I need something."
He could have spilled it out. He probably was waiting for somebody.
He was waiting for somebody.
What I mean? Waiting for somebody to just like, man, is somebody gonna say, "Are you all right?" I don't really want to
kill myself, but nobody cares. Oh shit!
Yeah,
nobody cares, bro. That's the deal. When your heart feels that nobody cares about me no more. There's so many things that I see, and I hear, like one little girl on TikTok I seen. Sometimes you can't believe everything TikTok, of course not.
Yeah.
But when you see something that really genuine hits your heart, this little girl, something was going on, and this lady said, "You're so beautiful," and she just broke down crying because nobody in her life had ever told her she was beautiful. You got to tell people. You got to tell your kids. You got to tell, hey,
Dog.
when I see my daughters hey, you look gorgeous today.
Yeah.
You know, I like that outfit or whatever.
Yeah,
If you see something
bro.
different, bring it up.
Literally, it costs nothing to be
Nothing.
nice.
Nothing.
Like, that's why I tell that to people every day.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it literally is free
It
to be
costs
nice.
More, it causes more problems in your face to frown
Than
than it does
to
to smile.
Yeah, yeah. That's facts, dog.
You know?
So, man, this was a
This
good
is
story,
great.
huh?
Hey, nephew, this was an amazing story. I'm so glad, you know, because it brought out
Something
a lot
that,
of things, you know, that not
Especially-
just a story.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Why this, you know,
this, and it also
the
led
AB
into a topic of something that maybe somebody needs to hear. You know what I mean?
mental health.
Mental health.
We talk. If y'all don't know us people, we talk about mental health a lot.
Yeah, that's a big thing on me and Unc's heart, man. We're
Yeah.
real passionate about mental health, about men's mental health as well as women's mental health.
right.
But men often get overlooked. You know what I
Right,
mean,
they do.
and stuff like that. But man, before we jump out, there's two things I want to talk about, Unc.
Let's go.
So, an update to something we talked about a long time ago.
Yeah, you can get it.
So, do you remember that rapper David that I talked about?
Yeah, I saw that.
He has been charged for the murder of Celeste.
Dude, she's 15. She was 13 when he met her.
Dude, dismembered, bro. It said she was missing body parts, missing
Was she? I thought
arms,
I thought
a
they just
missing
found her.
eyeball.
I thought they just
Dog,
found her in
no.
the trunk of the car.
They found her jacked up, dog. She was out of there, bro.
Wow.
Now he's been arrested.
Yeah, he
for
has
the
been
murder.
arrested. Yeah.
So we're gonna see how that plays out. But that is
No.
a close,
But-
not a closing, but
At least
a closure for the family,
that they
knowing
know.
that maybe they found the person who was responsible.
Yeah. Well, look at what happened in New York. That 15-year-old girl with that 14-year-old dude that stopped her and said, "Let me get your number." She said no, and then he slammed her and then stomped on her head.
Damn, for real?
They finally arrested. Somebody on my TikTok posted a video that dude with the beard. I can't think of his name. And he says, "I can't post the guy because I thought he was a grown man. He
It
was
was a boy.
14 in her school, but he has been arrested. You know, girls are not obligated to give you the number just because you ask.
bro.
You know,
That's crazy.
but it's crazy.
Most men, I don't
Yeah,
know,
so I
dog.
mean that's just
ridiculous.
crazy. But that rapper David, you know,
Yeah, bro. Like, how are you? And that just goes to show, bro. You could be on top of the world, music career, this and that. That don't mean nothing, bro.
right.
You can be harboring something deep
Right.
inside that no matter how much success you get, success doesn't always make the man.
No.
You know what I mean?
I've seen lots of stories about that. You know, like on SVU,
Yeah,
which is
bro.
crazy. You know, where a dude is famous, but he
And
beats
dude,
on his
yeah.
wife or his girl. I'm like,
and you know what
we
makes it
see
even
in,
more?
in real life. You know,
Yeah, with this.
that and then the elevator scenes that we.
Oh yeah, with like the celebrities, you see,
Celebrities,
yeah, dude. But, dude, and what makes it even more eerie is now there's videos coming out of, like, he performed a song called Afterlife and he broke down while he's singing.
Yeah,
it,
because
like,
he knew what he did.
exactly, dog. So now it's just like now they're analyzing him and
Right.
how is he moving afterwards? Like, oh,
Yeah,
dog,
Now that
we
now
knew
they
it was
know.
him.
Right.
Now
But
we.
now they got the
Yeah,
proof.
now so
Well,
dog.
hopefully, yeah. You know.
We're gonna see what comes out of that case.
Yeah.
As soon as we get an update, I'll probably talk about it on the podcast. But
Yeah.
also, we're getting to a good closing point, and there was something I wanted to bring out. Since we were also bringing out a true crime, something we haven't done in a little bit, I want to bring out another segment we haven't
What
done in
is
a
it?
little bit.
Pisses you off?
Things that piss me off.
I knew that was coming.
So check this out, Hawk. Man, we haven't done this one in a while.
Tell
but
me it's not
you know
another
what pisses me
drive-through.
off? It is not a drive-through, but it is something that, man, dog. Ugh. You know what pisses me off?
What's up?
You ever been in a good sleep, right?
Always.
Right. yeah, you're always in a good sleep. And your alarm is set for 6, right?
And you wake up 5
And you
minutes
wake
till
up
6?
5:50?
Pissed
That'd be
off, dog.
pissed off, dog. That pisses me off.
Because there's no way you're going to go back to sleep
You
for 10
can't sleep
minutes.
again. Yeah. Oh,
If you
my.
do, you ain't going to
You're
hear that
gonna get
alarm.
up.
Yeah.
Dog, oh, I'd rather my alarm wake me up. Why? I'd be like, God, why? 10 minutes,
What was
brother?
that? When that last time you said, why?
Why would I get up? Man, dog. That
Hey, you're not the
pisses
only one. It
me
happens
off,
to a
bro.
lot of people, man. They tell me. It's happened to me, too. I'm like, 6:05. Mine goes out at 6:10. It was 6:05. I'm like, well, might as well just get up.
Yeah, just get up. Yeah, then I'm mad.
Well, sometimes
start the day off all bad.
Sometimes I just lay there and I'm like, and it goes off. So I snooze just on purpose.
Yeah, just to shut up. I mean, shut the hell up.
Yeah, I only snooze it once because if I snooze it twice, I ain't waking back up.
And dog, just being in general messed with the way you sleep.
Yep.
I have a funny story, bro. My wife gonna be mad. I'm gonna tell this on the podcast. The other night, bro. See, my wife is a huge Justin Bieber fan, dog.
Yeah.
The other night, I was laying in bed, right? And she knows I go to work at 4 a.m, dog. She knows that.
Yeah.
So she knows that I get up at 3. And it is 2:30, right?
You got 30 more minutes.
I got 30 more minutes of good sleep. A good REM sleep. Right? And it's 2:30. And I just hear, babe, somebody's shaking my shoulder. So right away.
So you're thinking something's wrong.
I'm thinking something's wrong. What's up? What? Hey, Justin Bieber's on Coachella. Hey, man. I just had to look at her.
I seen him too, dog. I seen him on Coachella.
Hey, man.
Dressed in white.
I felt like Catherine Knight. Nah. I was about to snap on her. I said, babe, you woke me up at 2:30, 30 minutes before my alarm, just to tell me, Justin Bieber's on. And then I was like, well, she was so excited she had to tell somebody. So I was like, well, I mean, that's cool. But why me? Well, you couldn't wait. My alarm was going off 30 minutes.
You know what you missed, husband? You missed Justin Bieber on Coachella. Yeah. And then you would have said, well, you should have woke me up.
Yeah, we should have woke me up. Yeah. Yeah, dog. Oh, I told her, man, don't you ever pre-wake me up before my alarm.
For Justin Bieber?
Yeah, for something irrelevant. Now somebody's breaking into the house.
You heard some gunshot? What was it? Oh,
what?
okay.
Babe, I heard a noise. All right, that's even if it was something stupid.
Why are you waking me up? Go check it out.
Yeah. Justin Bieber's on. Hey, brother, let me tell you in the nicest way, don't give a damn. I'm going to be honest. I said, now I just got to get, I told him, I'm just going to get up. I was mad. Yeah. Just going to get up now, I guess.
Well, at
go
least
shower.
Well, I guess I'm going to go eat breakfast all by myself now. I was going to invite you, but not no more.
I was going to bring you something back, but I took that idea back. Yeah, dog, that pisses me off. Don't mess with me while I'm asleep, dog.
Exactly, dog.
Because I don't get very much sleep, so let me get the little bit that I do get.
That's crazy right now, That's awesome, man. That's awesome stories.
Oh, man. But, man, we're at a good stopping point, man. Yeah. Is there anything you want to say before we head out?
Just appreciate everybody, man. You know, the
facts.
Man, I can't wait till we hit that 1,000 downloads, man.
Yeah, it's going to be good, dog. We'll hit it probably this week.
Yeah.
Have a little celebratory video.
Hopefully, yeah.
Man, dog.
We are going to make a I don't want to say nothing about that, but hopefully we do make this other video and post it.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be good, too. Man, we got a lot in store, a lot of plans in motion. We just got, like I said,
it's just a time, not the time frame.
Yeah.
We're going back to our... We're gonna go back to our original lights and stuff. It's just, like with me and Uncle, like we always say all the time, man. This isn't our full-time gig yet, so we got a lot of things that we're in the works of, but we do appreciate y'all. I mean, no matter what we have, y'all are always there for us, and we really appreciate it. We got a lot of exciting things about to come out, so y'all just stay tuned, man. Y'all tap in with us. Cause it's gonna be summer. So we got stories coming out.
Yeah, we got some dope stuff ready for y'all. So, man, y'all stay tuned in with us, guys. We got a lot planned. And, yeah, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. Man, thank y'all for joining us for another exciting episode of Late Night Conversations with Uncle Nephew. And 2 weeks from now, peace.